Welcome to another Empires and Puzzles Books video. Today I just want to talk a little bit about Costume Elkanen. I feel like this is a very misunderstood hero, and it's so simple to understand him in my opinion. But I get questions frequently about what do I think of Costume Elkanen, and people question why he is graded so poorly in certain places. And I have another video up on grading charts. Don't even get me started on how awful they can be. But specifically in regards to Elkanen, Costume, why I like him. So I think the first thing that people miss is the fact that he hits the target and nearbys equally compared to regular Elkanen that does the major damage to the target and minor damage to the nearbys. Huge distinction. Most heroes that hit multiple targets are doing even damage, but you have a few like regular Elkanen that do the minor damage, which cuts that amount of damage in half. But when you have a hero like Elkanen Costume that hits all equally, that becomes really important, especially in hit 3 events like the Ninja Tower or the challenge events where you only ever have 3 enemies. So if you have a hero like the Hatter that hits strong in the center and weak on the sides, you could punch a hole in the enemy by killing the person in the center position, and now you have split targets, which can be problematic. So for me, as somebody who concentrates on hit 3 teams, or teams for the hit 3 events, I really like to see heroes like this that hit 3 targets equally. Now, when you have his 208% damage times his attack times 3 targets, again, comparing for the hit 3 event, or normal rating in war, he'd only hit 3. That amount of damage used to be the highest of any damage from a nature hero. He is now 3rd, and the only reason Elkanen is 3rd strongest hitting multiple targets is 1, they buffed the Hatter, but keep in mind the Hatter is average and he is splitting damage. He's only hitting 1 hard and 2 soft. And then the other person who took the lead of overall damage, and this is on basic cards with no emblems, was the release of Bertilla as Hero of the Month. And she is slow, but she hits incredibly hard as well. And know that I value all 3 of them. I use them frequently together. But Elkanen is fast. I don't even really care so much about the second part of his special as far as stealing health. I don't think I've ever even paid attention to that. He just hits so darn hard that it often just ends the event. So ends the battle, ends the screen. So I don't really concern myself too much with that. He is a costume hero, so he gets that 5% mana bonus, which means you only need a level 17 troop for him to drop a tile. Let's go back to these grading charts again, because I just find it amazing that people care so much about these grading charts. They are loaded with errors because they're based on individuals' interpretation of what they're reading here on the card. And I just gave you a little bit of an interpretation here on the card. But frankly, none of that matters. What matters is the synergy of the hero when you put them on teams and what they're able to accomplish. So as always, I encourage people to look at the results. Where do you see these heroes winning, placing? Who at the top is using them to do well? For me personally, Elkanen Costume has been an integral part of my nature team that I've used on a majority of the levels of the Ninja Tower. First 2 towers I placed 8th, the last one I placed 14th. My scores have gone up every time, and every time I've been adding emblems to Elkanen Costume to make him stronger and stronger. Integral part of that team. He follows up Evelyn with elemental defense down, and then Frigg or Buddy or somebody else for regular defense down, and then he just hits incredibly hard. So he's often a finishing hit for me. So I've used him to place very well in the Ninja Tower. In December, the last time we had Knights of Avalon, I used him extensively with my green team on a number of the stages, and I placed 47th in Legendary. And that was not an event that I pushed. I had just started pushing Legendary events, and I didn't push that one that hard. I've since placed a 9th and a 10th in Legendary, not using that team because of the colors that reflect for the specific events. But when we have the next Knights of Avalon, I'm going to be very excited to push harder on that and see if I can get a top 10. And I feel reasonably confident that I can probably do that with Elkanen and the rest of the nature team I put together. So, 2 8th place finishes in the Ninja Tower, 1 14th place in the Ninja Tower, 47th place in the monthly challenge event. And then Sunday, just 2 days ago, I used my nature team, which features Elkanen, and I just had an insane day of raiding. And I hit a new personal best of trophy cups. I was global 1 all day Sunday. I had 3,310 cups. And my primary raiding team that I used almost exclusively all day was Toxicandra for healing and the mana boost, Evelyn for the elemental defense down, Frigg for the regular defense down, the Hatter, who was stealing Sif's Reflect everywhere, and or Krampus's Taunt, which is just a fantastic feature, and then Deathblow just came from Elkanen. At the time of that event happening, we had the beta of defense formations were still going on, and we had a lot of people doing double formations with like Bara, Freya up front, and Sif in the back. I annihilate those teams. As long as I get 9 tiles, I win, period. Because the Hatter, Elkanen, as long as you hit the center target, they're hitting that target and nearby, wipes out teams. So I'm going to end with some videos of my nature team hitting those double combination, or excuse me, the double tank teams. And you will see how they all work together very well. So again, for a fast hero to be doing that much damage to that many targets, I'm not sure why there's any confusion about the value of this hero. He is absolutely fantastic, and I am thrilled to have him, and I will be using him in many more events moving forward. So what are your thoughts on Elkanen costume? Maybe you can shed some light on why the people out there don't value him as much. I just find him absolutely incredible, and I'm ecstatic to have him. All right, I'm going to wrap up this video with 2 raid fights. If you're interested in seeing my costume Elkanen in action in the Ninja Tower, those video walkthroughs are all online, as is the Avalon walkthrough from December, so you can check those out. What I want to show you here is 2 more recent videos with him at much higher emblem levels and in 2 really devastating fights. In the first fight, I want you to watch the ending closely, because everybody gets set off. I fire specials really quickly, and in the middle of the specials going off, I make one last 3-tile connection, which is enough to get Elkanen to fire a second time. If you watch this ending sequence, you'll see Elkanen's the only one who fires twice and puts the killer blow into the action. And then the last fight, or the second fight that I'll show you, was against Global number 1. And I think that fight will speak for itself. So I hope you enjoy these videos. As always, questions, comments, concerns, put them in the comments. Let's talk about costume Elkanen.